Tuesday morning. Hope everybody is doing well. Back this up just a touch here so we can make sure everything fits. We are ready for another game on the June 20th docket, which was a Saturday back in 1987. It's game number 457 overall in the replay. And we are at Toronto's Exhibition Stadium for a game between first place Milwaukee Brewers and the second place Toronto Blue Jays. Exhibition Stadium is symmetrical, so singles are 1 to 9, both sides of the plate. Home runs are 1 to 11, both sides of the plate. And we have a pretty good pitching matchup, I would say, in this one. For the Brewers and the Blue Jays, we have Bill Wegman, 7-1 on the replay against Jimmy Key, who was 5-0 on the 14-0 on the replay. So pretty good pitching matchup there. Sure. Still, it's the morning time, so we're going to have to deal with some of this glare, apparently. But hopefully it won't be too bad. We shall see. Brewers come to this game 43-20. Toronto 42-23. First, we'll start with Jimmy Key as I get the game up on the computer. Hello, Dr. D. So let's go to the Strat-O-Matic ball field and get everything set to go. Jimmy Key, obviously, if there was a Cy Young Award for the first half of the season, he would win it, probably MVP as well. I mean, 14-0, kind of hard to ignore that. His ERA is only 1.60, so 124 innings pitched, only 83 hits, 27 walks, and 90 strikeouts. So in 15 starts, he's 14-0. He had one no decision. So I would say he's right there. Definitely Cy Young, probably MVP as well. Wouldn't poo-poo that idea whatsoever. So don't know if it's good luck with the dice rolls or what, because in the real season he was 17-8 with a 2.76 ERA, but 14-0 with a 1.60 ERA, and he's thrown 124 innings, so it's not like it's a short sample size. He's gotten let's see here. He had let's see how many starts he had real world. I don't think this tells me on the card. I got to go look at the computer to see how many starts he had real. He had 36 starts real world, so he's almost halfway there, not quite halfway there, and he's 14-0. Now, saying all that, he'll probably, the old announcer's jinx, as they say, he'll probably get, he may end up getting, knocked out of the game early or something. Who knows? But that's why you roll the dice, because it's the unknown of the dice that make the game so fun. All right, at least for me. All right, so Mike Felder, center fielder, will lead off. I've actually made a misprint here. I'm so used to putting Robin Yount in center field. He's actually the DH for this game. Just caught that. That's why there's no fielding. That's why there are no fielding numbers here, because he actually is DHing in this actual game. Felder, not Field. I gotta be careful. We got a Cecil Fielder and a Mike Felder, so I got to make sure I know which is which. But Mike Felder is going to lead off and play center field for Milwaukee. If Cecil Fielder played center field for Toronto, they'd be in trouble. His range would be a -2. So before, of course, we throw the first pitch, we have the ceremonial first sip, even though it was partially hijacked by the Washington Nationals. The original can't beat the original. And that is some good coffee. All right, so Mike Felder hitting .327 on the replay and just 55 at bats. No homers, 3 driven in. He hit .266 real world. His switch hitter will bat right-handed here against Jimmy Key, and we're underway. 6-4 for Jimmy Key. That's a home run on a 1-8, but that's a 16, so it's a fly to left. So maybe that's the kind of fortune that Jimmy Key has been running into all season, getting those D20 rolls. Felder would not have hit a home run anyways. Weak power would have been a single, but still, it's just those splits seem to always go Jimmy Key's way for whatever reason. He's robbing you out, and there's an old expression too, is if you're good, you create your own luck. Maybe that's part of it. I don't know. Here's robbing you out. He's hitting 308 on the replay, 15 homers, 54 driven in. He hit 312 real world. 2-9 against the left-hander, and that's a ground ball to Tony Fernandez at shortstop. 2 up and 2 down. And that'll take us to Paul Molitor at third base. Molitor, one of the league's leading hitters, hitting 375 on the replay, 8 homers, 43 driven in. He hit 363 real world. 4-5 against Jimmy Key is a fly to left and hauled in by George Bell. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Jimmy Key. So he's off to a good start. And we go to the bottom of the first, rather. Milwaukee nothing and Toronto coming to bat. And Bill Wegman, your starter for the Milwaukee Brewers. Wegman in the real season, 12-11 with a 4.24 ERA. On the replay, he is 7-1 with an ERA of 3.21, 98 innings pitched, 90 hits, 26 walks, 38 strikeouts. And Tony Fernandez will lead things off. Fernandez, the shortstop, switch hitter. He is hitting 354 on the replay, 3 homers, 26 driven in. He hit 322 real world. 4-5. And that's a base on balls, not what you want if you're Wegman. You don't want to start walking guys, particularly speedy guys like Tony Fernandez. Wegman's pitcher-catcher quotient is a 0. So if he gets the lead, it'd be a 1-16. So he's going to try for that lead, needs a 6 or a 7. And he gets a 7, so he's going to go. We'll check his prowess at stolen bases, both in the real season and on the replay prior to this attempt. On the real season, he stole 32 bases, got caught 12 times. In the replay, he's stolen 15 bases, got caught 8 times. So here comes, that's 23. This is stolen base attempt number 24. He had 44 of them real world. So just past the halfway point in stolen base attempts. Again, it's a 1-16 because of the -2 for being held. And pitcher-catcher add nothing. And he's in there. Stolen base, Tony Fernandez. That is stolen base number 16. He's been caught 8 times, but that's stolen base number 16 on the replay for Tony Fernandez. He is in scoring position. Nobody out for Lloyd Mosby. Mosby hitting 337 on the replay, 18 homers, 62 driven in. He hit 282 in the real season. 5-7, and that's a strikeout for Bill Wegman. 1 away, and that's going to take us to Jesse Barfield, the home run leader in the replay. Jesse Barfield hitting 324 on the replay, 25 homers, 65 driven in. He hit 263 real world. Fernandez still at second with 1 out. That's a 6-7, and that's a ground ball second base X. Second baseman is Jimmy Gantner, 2E14. 2E14. 2 and a 5. That could be trouble. 2 and a 5. But we'll find out if he can get to it. 2 and a 5 is a G3 pound, but they were not holding Fernandez on second base. So that pound's irrelevant. It's just going to be a G3 to move the runners up. That's an 8. And Gantner is an E14. There's no 8. There's a 9 there, but no 8. So had they been really holding Fernandez tight, that would have gotten through for a base hit. As it is, Gantner, because he wasn't over there holding second base, was able to get to it. Fernandez does take third base, but now there are 2 outs. And it's going to be up to Mr. George Bell to bring him home. Clutch situation for George Bell. Bell in the clutch. According to his card, he's completely neutral. So he has no effect. Bell on the replay hitting 293, 21 homers, 61 driven in. He hit 308 real world. Fernandez at third, 2 outs. 210, and that's going to be a split. 1 to 5 is a single, but that's a 14. So he's going to line it to Dale Swain at short. And Bill Wegman gets out of the mess. No score after one from Exhibition Stadium in Toronto. And Jimmy Key will come back out to start the top of the second. Hello, Jeremiah. All right, here is Rob Deere. See if I can. It looks like it's kind of crooked here. See if I can't straighten that up just a tip, just a touch. So far, it looks like the glare is only on this little part of the dice tray, so hopefully the dice and score sheet are not affected by the glare. Deere 6-5 against the Jimmy Key against the right-hander 6-5. 1-5 is a triple. That's an 18, so he'll settle with a single. Base hit Rob Deere. And I forgot to give Deere's replay numbers. Deere on the replay was hitting 228, 6 homers, 31 driven in. He at 238 real world. Jimmy Key is a -5 hold. He's actually a -6 hold. And Witt's a 0, so -5 is the best you can have. Deere has an asterisk to try for a lead. And it'd be down to 1-10 if he got it. You know what? My general rule is, though, unless the game's out of hand, if he's got an asterisk, he tries for the lead. He needs a 7. Doesn't get it, doesn't matter. So Deere will hold. Brings up Pashoric, playing first base while Greg Brock's injured. Pashoric hitting 234, a homer and 10 driven in on the replay, 228 real world. 5-8, that's a strikeout for Jimmy Key, his first. He's not really a big strikeout guy, but he gets them when he needs them, apparently. And he takes care of Jim Pashoric. Here comes Glenn Braggs, right fielder. Braggs hitting 283 on the replay, 7 homers, 36 driven in. Hit 269 on the actual season. 310 against the lefty. That's a fly ball to left field. Once again, George Bell makes another play. 2 down. And we're looking at the catcher, Bill Schroeder. Schroeder hitting 288 on the replay, 4 homers, 21 driven in. He hit 322 in the actual season. Key to Schroeder. 3-8 to Schroeder. It's a single. It's only 1 star. So Deere only gets to second base. So first and second, 2 outs. Does bring up a clutch situation for Jim Gantner, second baseman. Gantner against the lefty in the clutch will lose a hit on 110. Everywhere else he is the same. Gantner hitting 286 on the replay, 2 homers, 20 driven in. Hit 272 real world. He's almost going to be done for the season because this is at bat number 200. He only had 265 all season long, so apparently he gets hurt at some point. 3-9, and that's a single on a 1, but anything else he lines to second, that's going to be a liner to Manny Lee, and the Brewers leave 2 on base. We go to the bottom of the second, still no score from Toronto. Due up for the Blue Jays, it'll be Ernie Witt, Willie Upshaw, and Kelly Gruber against Bill Wegman. Witt hitting 290 on the replay, 7 homers, 26 driven in. He hit 269 real world. On a 1-9, that's a ground ball to second base, and Gantner will make the play. 1 down. That'll bring up Willie Upshaw. Upshaw, the first baseman, hitting 212 on the replay. 2 homers, 19 driven in. He at 244 real world. It's a 4-5, and that's going to be a base on balls. Second walk issued by Wegman. Upshaw, to get a lead, needs a 3 through 7. On a 9 or 10, he is automatically caught stealing. That's a 9. He's caught stealing, picked off, whatever you want to call him. Let's look at the numbers on Upshaw. Real world and now. And again, if you don't try, I know he's got these caught stealings, but if you don't try, you're never going to duplicate those caught stealings. He stole 10 bases, real world, got caught 11 times. In the replay, he's stolen 4 bases. He now has been caught 6 times. So caught stealing, I'll call it a pickoff. I like to call it a pickoff instead of caught stealing. All right, so 2 outs, base is clear for Kelly Gruber. Gruber hitting .314 on the replay, 7 homers, 24 driven in. He only hit .235 real world. 6-5 is a pop up to third. Milder has it, and that ends the inning. So we played 2 complete in Toronto, and the score is still zip to zip. And for the Brewers, they will send up number 9 man Dale Swain, followed by Felder and Yount. Swain, a switch hitter, pretty good hitter for a number 9 hitter, that's for sure. Better than most number 9 hitters. He's hitting .336 on the replay, 13 homers, 41 driven in. He hit .252 real world. Switch hitter. 6'7". That means he's batting right-handed. 1-4. No, that's a liner to short. So again, Jimmy Key getting the benefit of the D20 in his favor. 1 away. Back to the top of the order for another switch hitter. Felder flew to left his first chance. That's a 1-11, and that's a pop-up to first base. That's going to be easy play there for Upshaw. 2 down. And that'll send us to Robin Yount, designated hitter. 2-4. That's a ballpark single check. It's a 1-9, and that's a 10. So again, Jimmy Key benefiting from positive D20 rolls to help him out. So that will just be a pop-up to third. And that'll end the inning. Like I said, to have a record like this, you have to have some luck to go with your skill. So we go to the bottom of the third. Bottom portion of the Blue Jay order. The Crime Dog, Fred McGriff, will lead things off, followed by Manny Lee, and then Fernandez. McGriff on the replay hitting .254. 11 homers, 20 driven in. He hit .247 real world. 4-6, left-handed, fly ball to right field. Glenn Braggs will haul it in, 1 down. And that'll send up the number 9 man, Manny Lee, second baseman. Lee hitting .279, no homers, 3 driven in. He hit .256 real world. 1-7, struck him out. That is strikeout number 2 for Bill Wegman. 2 up, 2 down, and for Tony Fernandez. Fernandez walked, stole second his first time up, made it to third, but got stranded there. 6-6, switch hitter batting left is a fly to center, and Felder hauls it in. So 3 shutout innings, not totally unexpected with this pitching matchup, despite the good offenses. Right, first 3 innings of pitching has ruled the day. Go to the top of the fourth, no score here in Toronto. For the Brewers, it'll be Molitor, Deere, and Pashorek against Jimmy Key. Milder, his first time up, flew to left field. One 4, that's a fly ball to right. All right, so I hope I'm back. Stupid Xfinity or whatever messing me up. I don't know what you guys saw and when it got cut off or whatever. But a little more. Paul Milder led off the 4th inning with a fly ball to right field. And I was about to roll Rob Deere. And in fact, this may be the roll for Rob Deere. I'm not sure. 1-4. No, I'm sorry. That was the roll for Paul Milder. Because on the 1-4, he flew to right field. So I was getting ready to roll for Rob Deere. And that's where I left off before YouTube, Xfinity, all the above conked out on me. I had to restart. I had to close down. I couldn't even save the game on the Strat computer. I got to redo it, and I'll do that offline. But it was so frozen, I couldn't go back to hit the save button to save it for me. So I'm just going to put it out without the computer, and maybe I'll make it go a little more streamlined as well. And I'll just put the stats in when the game's over, or not the stats in, but I'll put in the score sheet. I'll score it after the game's over. So right now we are at the, and of course you're watching this after the fact. Hopefully it'll be a seamless transition. You won't know the difference, but anyway, here's Rob Deere. It's a 5-4, and that's an 5-4 is a ballpark single check. 1 to 9, that's a 7. So this time, Rob Deere 2 for 2 against Jimmy Key. Again, he needs a 7 to obtain a good lead. Doesn't get it, so he'll hold. 1 out, and Jim Pashoric, the batter. It's a 5-4, and it's the same roll. Ballpark single check. This time a 17, though, so it's a pop out to first. 2 down, and that's going to bring up Glenn Braggs, right fielder. Deere still at first with 2 outs. 5-5, and that's a ground ball to second, and that will end the inning. Nothing doing for the Brew Crew here in the top of the 4th. We go to the bottom of the 4th, still no score. So hopefully those that were here before will come back. If that ever happens where it starts to freeze up or whatever, just know that I'm in the background restarting everything, and I'll be back online in a couple of minutes. It's never going to be just a drop off unless the computer completely screws up or the internet completely screws up. But most times it's just a simple manner of powering down the computer cold and then rebooting it back up, and that resets everything. So, all right, here's Lloyd Mosby. 6-4, left-handed, is another ballpark single check, 1 to 9, and that's an 8. So Lloyd Mosby gets himself a base hit. I got a feeling might be still the what do you call it? I don't know what the technical term is for it, but it feels like it might be a little sluggish. All right, but Mosby, of course, so there are his numbers to get the jump, 2 through 5. Whoa, we got a hop and dice, so we got to re-roll that. Does not get the jump, so he will hold. Here's Jesse Barfield. Oh, that's a leaner. You see, I don't think how well it shows up on the camera here, but that red die is leaning against the white die, so I'm going to re-roll that. Make sure they're all flat. 1-5, and that's a ground ball shortstop A. That is a Giovanni's Tailor Shop tailor-made double play, 643. Giovanni's Tailor Shop in Lemoyne, Pennsylvania. Be sure to check them out. Tell them Demo sent you. They'll give you a discount. They are the unofficial sponsor of the channel, but the official sponsor of the tailor-made double play of the game. Here's George Bell. 3-6 for Bell, struck him out. So Wegman, after the leadoff single, comes back and shuts the Blue Jays down. Go the 5th, no score from Toronto. Do it for the Brewers, bottom portion of the order, Schroeder, Gantner, and Swain against Jimmy Key. Both these starters have a 7 for fatigue, so they can go the distance if they have to. Schroeder singled his first time up. 110 for Schroeder, struck him out. Second strikeout for Jimmy Key. Brings up Gantner, second baseman. 5-4, that's a fly ball to center. Hauled in by Mosby, 2 down. 2 up, 2 down very quickly. And here's Dale Swain. 1-5 against the lefty, and that is a 1 for a single. Anything else, he lines to short. So he'll line it to Fernandez, and that's going to do it for the Brew Crew. Quick 1-2-3 inning for Jimmy Key. We go to the bottom of the 5th. No score. And do it for the Blue Jays. It'll be the catcher Ernie Witt, followed by Upshaw and Gruber. It's a 3-9 for Witt, and that's a line out right to Dale Swain, 1 away. Comes Willie Upshaw. He walked and then got picked off first base, trying to get a lead. 6-11, that's a ballpark blast. It's a 1-11, but that's a 13, just a deep fly to right field. D20 has not been kind for the hitters today. It's been The ones and twos just aren't showing up like they usually do. 2 outs very quickly for Kelly Gruber. 1-4 for Gruber, and that's a ballpark blast. 1-11 again. And as soon as I say that, right on cue, they get the ballpark blast and the D20 rolling once, and that's a home run for Kelly Gruber. Kelly Gruber. Let's see here. Gruber. I had to shut down the Strat computer because I had to shut down the whole computer. But I can still go to their stats and get their stats for them. So I'll see how many home runs that is for Gruber and what his RBI total is. Let's check out Kelly Gruber. So for Gruber, I'll actually go to team stats. It'll be easier to find it that way. All right, for Kelly Gruber, where are you, Kelly Gruber? There he is. That's home run number 8, RBI number 25 for Kelly Gruber. Oops, home run number 8. Kelly Gruber gets the Blue Jays on the board. He had 12 home runs real world. This is his 8th on the replay. That'll bring up Fred McGriff. 6'5" lefty, and that's a pop out to first with the short, and that's going to end the inning. But the Blue Jays strike first on the Kelly Gruber home run. At the end of 5, it's 1-0 Toronto. Great game. It's just a shame that the technical difficulties have chased a lot of people away. Unfortunately, they're missing this, so maybe they'll catch it on the replay. All right, here is Jimmy Key back out, facing the top of the order, and Mike Felder, Robin Yount, and Paul Molitor. Felder. 0 for 2, flew to left and popped to first. 4-11. And switch hitter batting right-handed. So 4-11 is a fly ball right field X. That's Barfield. He's a 1, so we know he's going to get to it. Just the E3 to worry about. And for an outfielder, for a right fielder, E3, the only errors are 3, 18, and 15. And he gets a 3. What do you know it? A 3 is rolled, so there is an error on Jesse Barfield, a rare error on Barfield. 1 base error on Barfield will put Felder on first base. Boy, you don't see that happen very often. You don't roll a 3 very often either. So take all that in consideration, I guess. Let me see how many errors that is for Barfield. Can't be that many, I wouldn't think. Let's see what he's done fielding-wise here. Exclusively a right fielder. Barfield, that's actually his 3rd error already. Huh, interesting. That's his 3rd error that he's made in the replay. So he's had some bad luck with that. So Felder is on, and he's looking to run. Needs a 6, 7, or 8 to get the lead. Does not get the lead. He will hold. And here's Robin Yount. Yount is 0 for 2. 5-4, and again a ballpark single check, 1-9, and again it's the 13, so pops it up to first. Jimmy Key getting those preferential rolls on the D20. Here's Paul Molitor. He's 0 for 2. 4-10, and that's a fly to center field. Mosby puts it away, 2 down. So Jimmy Key trying to pick up his teammate and get out of that leadoff error. Although here's Rob Deere. He's 2 for 2. He's the one guy that's figured Jimmy Key out. 2 for 2. 6-3. Ground ball pitcher X. Jimmy Key is a E17. I've got to go to Strat to get what his range is because the cards don't say it. So let me find out what Jimmy Key's range is according to his Strat-O-Matic computer card. His range is a 2. So he's a 2E17 as a pitcher. 2 and an 8. He'll obviously get to that. 2 and an 8 for a pitcher. He is a G3. Well, with 2 outs, that's good enough. That's a 6, and he is an E17. There's a 6 right there, so Jimmy Key commits an error. E17, and that's a 6. So the inning continues. 2 errors in the inning. Very uncharacteristic for the Blue Jays to make 2 errors, particularly in 1 inning. But they did. And now we got Jim Paciorek up in a clutch situation. Paciorek is 0 for 2. In the clutch against lefties, he will lose a hit in 2 places, 1-7 and 1-12. So he's got to avoid those. That's a 6-7, and that's a 1-4 single. That is a, what is that? Is that a 3 or a 6? Looks like a 3 to me. Yeah, it is a 3. It was kind of leaning against the 5, but it is a 3, so that's a base hit. It's only 1 star. 6-7, 1-4 is a single, so it's a 1-star single, and that will load the bases for Glenn Braggs. Of course, any runs that score will be unearned because of the 2 errors. So here's Glenn Braggs in the clutch, and Braggs in the clutch loses 1 hit on 2-3. Everywhere else he is neutral. Key to Braggs, bases loaded, 2 outs. 1-9 to Braggs. It's a 1 for a triple. Anything else is a double. That's a double. This could clear the bases. 2 runs are going to score for sure. Double is to center field. Mosby's got a 0 arm. Paciork's a 12, not being held to 13. 2 outs is a 15. So 1-15, they're going to send him. And on the overthrow, Braggs will take third base. But he scores on a 1-15. And he does. So it's a base clearing double. 3-run double off the bat of Glenn Braggs. 3-run double off of Braggs. And the Brewers lead it 3-2. 3-1, actually. Again, all the runs are unearned, but they still count. Here's Bill Schroeder. That's a 2, chance for a balk or pass ball. We're looking at a balk rating on Jimmy Key, which is an 8. So he could balk in a run right now as well. 1-8, he balks in a run. He does not. So Schroeder will have to earn it. 3-2, and he grounds it to short to end the inning. 3 unearned runs come in on 2 Toronto Blue Jay errors, and the Brewers lead it 3-1. Turn of events here at Exhibition Stadium. Now Wegman has been given a 3-1 lead to protect. He's going to face Manny Lee, bottom of the order. Lee struck out his first time up. 2-9 against the righty, and that's a ground ball to first. And Paciorek will take it to the bag himself. 1 away. Here's Tony Fernandez. 4-8, switch hitter batting left. That's a 1-3 double, but he'll settle with the single. Tony Fernandez, and again, he's going to be looking to get the lead to steal second base. Needs a 6 or a 7. Doesn't get it. He'll hold. Here's Mosby. He is the tying run. 3-4 for Mosby, but it's a ground ball to first base. It's going to be a 3-6-3 double play. Not tailor-made, but it counts all the same. And at the end of 6 innings of play, Brewers lead it 3-1 over Jimmy Key and the Jays, but those 2 errors costly big time. Key has to regroup here in the top of the 7th, facing Gantner, Swain, and Felder. This is the fatigue inning for Jimmy Key. 1-9, and that's a solid single for Gantner. Good start for the Brew Crew. Gantner needs a 7 to get the lead. Doesn't get it. Brings up Dale Swain. He's lined to short twice. 3-3, and this is a straight-up home run for Dale Swain right there. 3-3, a solid home run, 2-run shot, and Jimmy Key, his unblemished record is pretty much in serious jeopardy at the moment. Dale Swain, a home run. Let's get the number on Dale Swain. I don't have the computer up in Strat, so I've got to get the team stats and see what his home run total is for Dale Swain. For Swain, this is home run number 14, RBIs 42 and 43. And the Brewers lead it now 5-1. Back to the top of the order for Felder. Bullpen action for the Brew Crew. We'll look at their bullpen and see who might be the most available. Let's take a look here. Got a couple of righties, and Jay Aldrich looks like it might be a possibility. You got Jay Aldrich loosening in the bullpen. I'm sorry, that's Toronto. I'm looking at Toronto. That was Milwaukee. I need Toronto's bullpen. My bad. Toronto's bullpen. We are looking at Jeff Musselman, left-hander, another left-hander, Jeff Musselman in the bullpen. Here's Felder. That's a 3-8 against the lefty. That's a ground ball to short. One away. And that will take us to Robin Yount. That's a 6-6 right-hander. 1 to 5 is a double. That's a 3, so it'll be a double for Robin Yount. Now Jimmy Key is fatigued. And you might have to get a right-hander up, not Musselman. Let's see here. Looks like we're going for Mark Eichhorn. Foghorn Eichhorn is loosening in the bullpen. He's almost ready. He'll be ready to come in next batter, I think. They're going to let Key face Molitor because he's got Molitor out 3 times, but he's had trouble with Rob Deere, so they're going to let him try to get Molitor out, see what he can do with that. 3-7, and he walks Molitor, so that's going to be it for Jimmy Key. Jimmy Key is going to have to leave the ball game. And they'll turn it over to Mark Eichhorn. Jimmy Key goes 6 1/3. 5 runs so far. Only 2 of them are earned, but these 2 are his responsibility as well. And Mark Eichhorn coming on to try to stem the tide. Mark Eichhorn on the full season, he was 10-6 with a 3.17 ERA. On the replay, Eichhorn, go to their stats. For the Jays, Eichhorn is 1-1 with a 3.69 ERA and 1 save. This will be his 30th appearance. 46 1/3 innings pitched, 40 hits. 20 runs, 19 of them are earned, 17 walks, 37 strikeouts. He's given up 6 long balls. So Mark Eichhorn is on to pitch to Rob Deere with 1 out and runners at first and second. Eichhorn facing Deere. He could use a strikeout or a double play right about now. 4-8, and he gets a strikeout. So that was one of the 2 results he wanted. But now they're 2 away. Still got to get by Jim Paciorek. Clutch situation for Paciorek, and he does lose a hit on 1-7 in the clutch. That's a 5-6, and that's a 1-8 double. That's a 17, though, so it's just a fly to left to end the inning. But 2 more runs come in. And now we can close the book on Jimmy Key. Rough outing for Jimmy Key for sure. A lot of it not his own doing, though. So let's get the numbers. I got to do it manually because I don't have the computer to fall on. So let's see here. How many hits? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hits I've got him for. 5 runs, 2 earned. Now let's see. He walked. Got him just for that 1 walk. Molitor was his only walk that I could see. and he struck out just 2. So the guy who's the happiest guy right now, Bill Wegman, he's got a big lead, a 5-1 lead to work with. And this will be his fatigue inning as well. As we go to the bottom of the 7th, no 7th inning stretch today. I already had that break with the snafu on the computer, so we're just going to keep rolling. Barfield, your batter. 4-9, and that's going to be a solid double to center field. Leadoff double by Barfield. Don't count the Blue Jays out. They've got a potent offense. Here's George Bell. 4-9 again. Same roll. Back-to-back doubles. And the Blue Jays cut into that lead. It's now 5-2. And now the Brewer bullpen is going to start to stir very quickly. Look at their bullpen. And they got left-handed action in their bullpen. They have Paul Mirabella, a lefty, loosening in their bullpen in case Wegman can't finish the inning. Here's Ernie Witt. That's a 5-8 for Witt. Pops him up to first, and for sure it makes the play. 1 away for Willie Upshaw. By 4, and that's a fly ball center field X. We're looking at Felder, 3-E11. 3-18, he'll get to that. Just checking for the error on the E11. And that's a 7. So E11, there is no 7 there, so it's good play for Felder. He'll make the play. 2 down, and it's going to be Kelly Gruber. Clutch situation for Gruber. He loses a couple of hits, 3-8 and 3-9 in the clutch. Also on 2-3. 5-6 is going to be a pop out to second base. So Wegman does recover after those 2 doubles and shuts down the Blue Jays the rest of the way. We go to the 8th. It's 5-2 Milwaukee. Mark Eichhorn coming back out. Wegman's going to keep going to the 8th inning. He only gave up those 2 hits, so he's still got endurance. They won't bring in a relief pitcher just yet. Here's Eichhorn. He'll be facing Braggs, Schroeder, and Gantner. Of course, Braggs had the big 3-run double in the top of the 6th that put the Brewers in the lead. 1-5 for Braggs. He's going to ground to short. That's 1 away. Brings up Bill Schroeder. 1-6, struck him out. 2 down for Jimmy Gantner. 2-8 for Gantner, and he's going to ground it to second. And that's a 1-2-3 inning for Eichhorn. Keeps the score at 5-2, but Blue Jays have to get something going against Wegman. It'll be Fred McGriff to lead it off. They will pinch hit for Manny Lee. They're going to get a better hitter out there, at least what they perceive as a better hitter. Rance Mullenix will come on and pinch hit. Mullenix will be pinch hitting for Manny Lee. Lee a 256 hitter, Mullenix a 310 hitter. So pretty easy choice there. Griff will lead it off, and then it'll be followed by Mullenix. And then most likely Mullenix will stay in the game and play third, and they'll move Gruber to second. That's most likely what will happen. Or they could bring in Garth Orge to play second. Here's McGriff. 6-4. That's a ballpark single check. That's a 4. Base hit for Fred McGriff. So McGriff is aboard. And now Rance Mullenix is your pinch hitter. We'll get the numbers on Mullenix as he's coming into bat for the first time. We'll get his replay numbers. Already know he hit 310 real world. He's hitting 364 on the replay, leading the Blue Jays in hitting. In 143 at-bats, he's gotten 52 hits, 10 doubles, no triples, 7 home runs, 25 runs batted in. So Mullenix, definitely a threat. And Mirabella back in loosely in the Brewer bullpen just in case. And back a Wegman. 3-8 from Mullenix, and that is a base on balls. So getting a little bit of dicey here for the Brewers. Mirabella is ready to come in. He will come in and face Mosby. They're going to let Wegman pitch to Fernandez, and that's going to be it for him. With Fernandez, 5'6" switch hitter. That's a line out to third base, snagged over there by Mulder, one away, but they're hitting Wegman pretty hard, so the call is made by Tom Troublehorn to the bullpen. With the left-hander Lloyd Mosby coming up, they will go to the left-hander Paul Mirabella. Paul Mirabella on the, let's get his stats here. On the real season, Paul Mirabella, 1-1, 4.91 ERA and 2 saves. On the replay, Mirabella is 2-0 with a 2.31 ERA and no saves. This is his 13th appearance. He's pitched 11 2/3 innings, 11 hits, 8 walks, 5 strikeouts. So his walk total is a little high, but everything else seems to be doing okay. Lefty on lefty matchup against Lloyd Mosby. 4-2, and that's a ground ball first base C. 3-1 put out. That'll advance the runners to second and third, but now they're 2 away for Jesse Barfield. And now Mirabella will leave. He came in and got the job he was supposed to do. He got the 1/3 of an inning all taken care of. 7 1/3 turned in by Wegman. So Mirabella will exit. He was there to face the one lefty, and that's it. But now with the righty coming up, Brewers will go to we'll go to Mark Clear. Mark Clear out of their bullpen. Clear on the 87 season, 8-5 with a 4.48 ERA. And let's see what he did what he's done on the replay. On the replay, he's 2-3 with a 2.36 ERA and 2 saves. This will be appearance number 27 for him, which leads the team. 34 1/3 innings, 25 hits, 18 walks, 43 strikeouts. So Mark Clear coming on to try to get out of the mess. First and second, 2 outs. I'm sorry, second and third, 2 outs. Clutch situation for Barfield. In the clutch, loses a hit on 2-12 and 1-8. But he is the tying run at the plate. 1-12, and that's a ground ball to third. That'll do it. Mark Clear gets it done, gets out of the mess. And we go to the 9th inning. Still a 5-2 ball game. Eichhorn's going to finish it out. He's got a fatigue rating of 2, so he's okay to finish the game. He'll be facing Swain, who had a home run his last time up. It'll be Swain, Felder, and Yount. And now we need to probably back this up just a hair so the cards don't get hey Aaron, no, I'm just not a big fan of payoff pitch. I mean, I did it for the there's just something about the game that I don't know if it's the player ratings or what it is, but I mean, every time I go back to play it, I just find that I'm lacking something. So no, I really don't have much interest in payoff pitch right now. It is down on it's down to about the 5th or 6th rated game in my collection. All right, so Dale Swain will lead it off. Let's see if I can get this turned sideways so we can actually see what's going on here. I think we can now. All right, here's Eichhorn to Swain. 6'4", switch hitter batting left. That's a ground ball third base X. Oh, I forgot to mention Orge is playing second base now. So Mullenix did not stay in the game. He just pinch hit, and that was it. So Orge is the one playing second base in the 9th inning. But the third baseman is Gruber, 3E24 on the ground ball third base X. 3 and a 4, that's going to probably get through for a base hit, I would think. 3 and a 4. That's a single. How about that? That's a 6, and he's an E24. No 6 there. But it's going to be a leadoff single for Dale Swain. He's now 2 for 4. Homer and now a single. Paul Molitor, your batter. Not Molitor. What is he doing up there? It's supposed to be Felder, not Molitor. I don't know how he got out of order here. Don't want to bat out of turn. So it's Felder. And Felder's an A bunter, so they're going to have Felder bunt. Try to get another insurance run. 1 means it's going back to Eichhorn. So since he's an A bunter, the corners are coming in to expect it. It's a B bunter, so basically at 9 or less, he has a good bunt. And it's a 9, so it's a good sacrifice. Sacrifice hit will go 1 to 4. Swain will take second base with 1 out for Robin Yount. Eichhorn to Yount. 6-6. Right-handed is a 1 to 10 single. That is a 10 right on the number there. So it will be a single 1 star. It's going to put runners on the corners with only 1 out. And now Paul Molitor is your batter. Infield has come in. They don't have any choice. They have to play the infield in. Can't depend on that double play showing up. Whoop, that white-red die didn't go through, so let's try that again. Get a 3-10, and that's a strike. I'm sorry, over here. 3-10, that's a fly ball left field B question mark. So possible sacrifice fly. So the runner on third, Swain, is a 12. So basically we're going to add 2 to that and subtract the left fielder arm. Bell is a -2 arm in left field. And you add the +2, so it kind of cancels each other out. And so we're looking at a 1 to 12 to score him on the sacrifice fly. So 1 to 12 would be a sacrifice fly. 13 or higher, and it's a fly ball double play. It's a fly ball double play. How about that? Molitor flies to the left, and George Bell takes care of Swain at the plate, 7 to 2 on the double play to end the inning. So George Bell just saved the Blue Jays a run. Now we go to the bottom of the 9th. Dan Plesac is ready in the bullpen if they need him, but hasn't been all that great either, so they might want to stick with Clear. Astro, I got that from ID Jester. He emailed it to me. So we go to the computer here and see what kind of numbers Plesac has. He's 5-2 with 14 saves and a 3.71 ERA. It's a 3-run lead, though, and that right-hander's coming up, so I think we're going to stick with Mark Clear. Clear has 2 saves on the replay already, so he's going for his 3rd save. And he'll be facing Bell, Witt, and Upshaw. Well, actually, there's 2 left. You know what? They're going to go with Plesac. Because 2 out of 3 are left-handed. Of course, there might be some pinch hitting going on, but they're going to go to Plesac. It is still a safe situation, 5-2. So they will go with Plesac. Clear is going to pitch a 1/3 of an inning. Didn't run into anything at all. Let's get the numbers on Wegman before I get too far along here. Wegman did walk 3. I don't think he struck out very many. He struck out 3. Walked 3, struck out 3. Gave up 2 runs, which were both earned. Now the hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 hits I've got him for. Okay. Well, if you don't have the computer in front of you to help you out, it kind of throws you off a little bit. At least it throws me off a little bit. All right, so George Bell will lead off against Dan Plesac. Plesac. Let's get the numbers on Plesac, complete numbers on Plesac. The Milwaukee closer. Plesac on the real season, he was 5-6 with a 2.61 ERA. On the replay, Plesac is 5-2 with a 3.71 ERA and 14 saves. This will be appearance number 26. He's pitched 26 2/3 innings, 18 hits allowed, 10 walks, 31 strikeouts. And he's going to face Bell, and then a pinch hitter for Witt, and probably a pinch hitter for Upshaw. Bell 1-5, and that's a straight-out home run for George Bell. He greets Dan Plesac with a leadoff home run. No doubt about it. A 1-5 is a no doubt about it home run for George Bell. And for George Bell, let's get his numbers. See how many home runs that is for Bell on the replay. He hit 47 of them real world. On the replay for Bell, this is home run 22 and RBI number 61 for George. Actually, RBI 62 because he had an RBI here. So home run number 22 and RBI number 63 for George Bell. Cuts the lead to 5-3. And now we're going to have a pinch hitter for the Jays as they will go to their bench. For a right-hander, could be Charlie Moore, but it's going to be Cecil Fielder. That's who it's going to be. Or you know what? Actually, it's going to be Charlie Moore, and then Cecil Fielder will pinch hit for for Upshaw. So it's going to be Charlie Moore pinch hitting for Witt, and he'll stay in the game to catch if it goes extra innings. And then pinch hitting for Upshaw will be Fielder, and he'll stay in the game to play first base if it goes extra innings. So we got back-to-back pinch hitters coming up. Moore and Fielder taking the place of Upshaw and Witt. So Plesac has to regroup after giving up that home run. Charlie Moore on the replay, not doing so well, hitting 227, a homer and 3 driven in on the replay. Real world, he hit 215 with a home run. So Charlie Moore pinch hitting here against Dan Plesac. 6-11 for Plesac against a right-hander. Ground ball pitcher X. He's an E36. I've got to go to the computer and get his range rating because the cards, of course, don't show that in 1987. So Plesac is a 3 rated range. So he's a 3 E36 as a pitcher. 3 E36. 3 and an 11. So the range is okay. We're just checking for the error. That's a 7, and he is an E36 as a pitcher. E36, there's a 7 right there, so Dan Plesac boots it. E1, and that puts Charlie Moore on base, and that brings the tying run to the plate in the form of pinch hitter Cecil Fielder, who will pinch hit for Upshaw. We'll get the numbers on Fielder on the replay versus real world. Fielder on the real season hit 14 home runs and a 269 average and 175 at bats. On the replay for Fielder, this will be at bat number 87 for him. He's hitting 291, 13 homers, 25 driven in. Charlie Moore not going anywhere. Can't pinch run for him because there's nobody else to catch. His run is really not relevant. It's the other runs behind him that count. Here's Fielder, 4-5, and that's a double 1-2. 16 is going to be a single 2 stars. Boy, Plesac not doing so well to start things off. Runners at the corners. Tying runs are on base. The winning runs now at the plate in Kelly Gruber. Infield back for the double play. They need outs in the worst way. 6-6 against Plesac, and he gets a big strikeout there. Dan Plesac with a strikeout. That's going to bring up Garth Orge. This will be his first at bat since coming in as a defensive substitution at second base. Orge on the replay is hitting only 142. No homers, 12 driven in. He hit 210 real world, but they really have nobody else left on the bench to go to pinch hit. I don't believe. Double check their bench. I think they've used just about everybody. See if there's anybody left. Rick Leach, but he's a lefty. He's the only guy left on the bench is Rick Leach. So we're going to go ahead and go with Garth Orge. Runners at the corners and one out. We get a 4-8, and that's a strikeout for Plesac. So back-to-back strikeouts. And now, I'm sorry, that should have been Fred McGriff, not Orge. I had him out of order. Out of order. Now the question is, do I re-roll this or do I? Well, it's a 4-8, so it's going to be off Plesac's card, so it's irrelevant what McGriff does because it's still going to be a strikeout. So either way, since it's off the pitcher card, the batter card is irrelevant. Just changes the side, and it's the same on both results. So now we get Garth Orge in a clutch situation, no less, and he loses a hit here on 112. So Plesac a chance to earn the save and get out of the mess. We get a 3-6 for Orge against the lefty. It's a fly ball to left, and there's your ball game. Milwaukee Brewers hang on and win it by the score of 5-3 over the Toronto Blue Jays. And that will give Jimmy Key his first loss of the season. Plesac with the save. That's his 15th save of the season. The win goes to Wegman. He's now 8-1. Jimmy Key with the loss. He's now 14-1. Get the numbers on Eichhorn. He went 2 2/3 innings. Gave up 2 hits, but nothing else. And he struck out 2. Plesac, 1 inning pitched. He gave up the run on 2 hits. Oops, wrong way. 2 hits and 1 run. Hits and 1 run. Let's see, didn't walk anybody, struck out 2. So the couple of errors here by Toronto cost them the game, basically. Those 2 errors there did them in. So 3 runs, 8 hits, and 2 errors for the Blue Jays, but for the Brewers, 5 runs, 10 hits, and no errors. So there's your final score from Toronto. Jimmy Key takes his first loss of the season, although he only allowed 2 earned runs because the other 3 were unearned because of the errors. Player of the game, Glenn Braggs, his 3-run double, base-clearing double in the top of the 6th, took it from a 1-0 Blue Jay lead to a 3-1 Milwaukee lead, and it never looked back. So your player of the game is Glenn Braggs. He will earn the player of the game honors in this one. And the Brewers extend the first place lead again. They're now 44-20. Toronto now 42-24. And we look ahead to tomorrow's game. We will be in Cleveland. And it will be the Seattle Mariners taking on the Cleveland Indians. That'll be tomorrow's game. Mike Morgan against Steve Carlton is your pitching matchup. But again, trying to go east to west. So Cleveland's the next Eastern on the schedule. Thursday will be in Minnesota for the White Sox against the Twins. And then Friday will be in Oakland. It'll be the Texas Rangers taking on the Oakland A's. Those will be the matchups. The one played offline will be Kansas City at California, unless I can sneak that in somehow. But otherwise, that's what we're going to have. So that's going to do it from here. Jimmy Key takes the loss. First time, he drops to 14-1. And now I need to go back in since the internet and Xfinity and everything crapped out on me, and I had to close the computer without saving the game. I got to go in. I need to go in and score this on the Strat computer, so all the stats will be updated. And then we'll get ready for tomorrow's game, Seattle and Cleveland. So that's going to do it from here. Hope you all have a great Tuesday, whatever you have planned for your day. Hope the weather's good where you are. Hope you're enjoying the hobby, whatever game you choose to play. So, as I like to say, Until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.